If you aren't familiar with Harbin, it'd be easy to think it must be a desolate city. Temperatures remain below freezing point for 4 months of the entire year, and in midwinter, residents often suffer temperatures of more than minus 20 degrees Celsius. In 2021, Harbin's population actually dropped to less than 10 million, as workers sought better opportunities in first-tier cities such as Beijing and Shanghai, which both boast economies Harbin is unable to compete with.
Yet to think this would be a mistake. Take it from me, as someone who lives here in Harbin, with my wife and her family. Whilst Harbin's temperatures are undeniably cold, it is impossible to leave the city without feeling the infectious warmth that is spread by Harbin's local people. Daily interactions, such as chatting to the owners of a small restaurant while enjoying their homemade local cuisine, are always friendly, and I have never been made to feel as welcome in a city in China as I do in Harbin. What makes Harbin truly special is the people. It is little surprise that the people here are so welcoming. In the early 1900s, Harbin was one of the most international cities in East Asia, with a population of 68,000 citizens that encompassed 53 nationalities speaking 45 languages. And a few years later, in 1920, Harbin welcomed more than 100,000 Russian refugees. Whilst the majority of the international population later emigrated away from China, the traces left behind are evident. Harbin boasts a European-style aesthetic, with wide streets lined by buildings displaying all the features of prominent 20th century European architecture. Bread, sausages, beer and sauerkraut are all well-known specialities of Harbin's cuisine, but the most obvious traces can be seen in the people that remain. A welcoming attitude to any and all outsiders, whether they be from other parts of China or from halfway around the world, and an intense pride in their city's history of accepting people of all backgrounds and nationalities. Winter has once again hit Harbin, but temperatures of less than minus 20 haven't deterred Harbin's population from tirelessly preparing for the tourism boom that arrives together with winter. Ice sculptors brave the cold for hours a day to prepare for this year's Ice and Snow World, an icy paradise with views unlike anywhere else in the world. Shop staff, cleaners and traffic policemen happily stand outside on Central Street, welcoming visitors to Harbin's famous cobbled shopping street, which is the longest pedestrian street in all of Asia. But this year is special, and locals are waiting with open arms to share their love for the city with winter sports athletes and fans who will travel to Harbin for the 2025 Asian Winter Games.
That is why Harbin will be the perfect host for the 2025 Asian Winter Games. And in February, when athletes from across Asia flock to this icy city in northeast China to compete for the coveted gold medal, I'm confident that Harbin will once again prove itself to be a city that welcomes all outsiders with open arms.